Welcome back, pure structure traders, for another market analysis for the London session. Today is June 16, 2021 here in Hawaii, and will be June 17, 2021 in London. Today we'll be going over S&P 500, gold, and also oil, giving you guys some levels that we'll be looking at during the London session. Now, if you guys do like these videos, please go ahead and smash that like button. If you guys are not subscribed to the channel yet, please go ahead and subscribe. We would love that from you guys. Any questions you guys have, feel free to pop them in here on YouTube. We would love to get back to you guys. But with that said, guys, let's go ahead and get into the weekly quote here by David Sick Hosanna. Again, going over this, guys, losses are necessary as long as they are associated with a technique to help you learn from them. Now, I'm keeping this up every single day of this week so that way we can keep our minds fresh, so that way that stays in our minds that we're going to take losses no matter what when we're trading. It happens. One day you might just be continually profitable. The next day you might take loss after loss, and you got to learn how to stop yourself, reassess those trades, look to perform better the next day. Again, the way to reassess those trades is to journal them, discipline yourself, have patience between each and every trade, take the time out to see if you have any pain points you have to address, right? And again, like it says here, you have to make sure there with those losses there is associated a technique to help you learn from them. Again, that technique, in my opinion, is going to be you journaling your trades and figuring out what is it that you can do better as a trader or performing your trade. Maybe you jumped in too high. Maybe you entered in too low. Maybe you try to chase after the trade. Maybe you just are not confident in your ability to take your trades from your levels, right? A lot of those things could be hindering your profitability and your performance each and every day. And there could be many more different things, but the only way you can figure that out and become aware of it is by assessing the actual trades after you've taken them. Again, you want to make sure that you understand this clearly, that it's not your emotions that need to be fluctuating on each and every trade. It's going to be mostly the actual profit that should be fluctuating, but the emotions, you got to make sure that you manage them, you keep them at bay, and then you trade according to your plan, right, and your process. Then you'll see the money start to flow in. But with that, guys, with that weekly quote that we put up, let's go ahead and get started with the market analysis for you guys. All right, so for S&P 500 that we got up here, let's talk about this for a little bit. Everybody looking at this chart here, you can see on S&P 500, we did have a trade idea, which was a continued short from around these 41 to 42s on the downside. And it was slow in the beginning of the US session, but once the FOMC happened, the market started getting pretty volatile. You can see we dropped off past one of our main supports of 4201, spiked down below that, actually came right back up into our prior level of support, reacting as resistance right around these 2550s, and then we got a nice double top there to try to pull it down. So for the London session, what are we looking for exactly? Again, we are below a main level of support, 4201, so want to see this market attack this area and fail to get through it. Now, if it fails to do that, look for a continued move back to the downside into 4169.75 is my next level of support down below. Now, if we get back above this level and we find that support happening above 4201, we could look for the market to try to pull back up into those 2550s and then above that 3850. So those should be our levels of interest. I mean, there are going to be some smaller areas that you could potentially maybe be looking for, which you could go maybe as high as somewhere around here, around these 4204s, as an area of some slight resistance there that could potentially hold us to the downside. But I really like to see if this market can hold these 4201s as resistance there and then try to get that pull to the downside from that area. So that's what I'm going to be looking for. Now, if I want that long opportunity within this bearish move that we have, I'm going to probably be looking more towards this level of 4169.75 for the support to actually come in to try to take a long back to the upside from there. Outside of that, above 4201, you got to be holding that support to push it back up. And then if we get back above those 25s, then I am going to look for the support to happen above that area to get that continuational move to the upside from there. Let's go ahead and take a look at a smaller chart here on S&P for you all. Actually, let me delete those lines first. So let's pull over this smaller chart on S&P 500 so we can see where we're currently at. So as you can see, we're currently at this, coming close to this 4201, which we barely ticked away from it right here. You can see what happened. I am looking for another rotation to come towards that level, and if we continue to fail to get through it, again, I'm going to be looking for that pull back to the downside to make another rip lower, and then try to get us to pull down into those 41.6975s. Now we could potentially see the market try to stop between these levels, 41.8750 to about 41.84. So we are going to probably try to take some profit around that area if we do decide to short this for a continuational move to the downside. With that, if I'm looking for the longs, again, 41.6975 as that long opportunity. Once we get down to that area, want to see extend there and then get that long opportunity from there to see if the buyers step in there. Now, if we get above these 4201s, that's where we're going to be looking for the support to happen here and then a push back up, try to retest those 42.2550s, and then above that 42.3850 is my next level. Let's go ahead and take a look. We'll move over to gold, give you guys some ideas of what's going on. So gold, kind of similar, we did have quite a bit of downward movement. You can see what happened. Caught some good opportunities to the upside in the beginning of the session. However, the market could not break a significant level, which was right around these 1863.9s, and because of that, it started to fall off drastically. Broke below 54.5, 49.0, started to use these areas. You can see how it starts to use these areas as resistance here, and then falls to our next levels. Now we did fall all the way down to 1804.7. You can see we came back above 1817.2. So what do we want to see for the London session here? For the London session, we want to lay out some ideas of trade. One, I am looking for more of a major pullback, which is going to be right around these 1817.2s, and maybe get a continuational bullish move from that area. Now, if you don't want to look for that, you can potentially look out for a minor level, which is actually going to come somewhere around these 1819.4s. That's going to be more of a minor level. If you want to try to put that on, you can. I'm going to just make a dotted line there to note where this actual level could potentially hold the support. I don't know why it keeps doing that, but it's going to be somewhere right around that area that potentially we could see the market hold a minor level support from there and try to get that bullish continuation into our area of resistance, 1832.2. So we'll look out for that. Could come a little bit lower and stall, so keep out for 1820, somewhere around 1828.5 as a stalling area if we get back up to that area. But I do believe we may continue to try to push or pull back to the upside. We'll see if it can do that. Let's take a look at a smaller chart here so you guys can see what's actually going on the smaller chart here on gold. So let's pull this over for you guys. So you can see right now we're curling back down. Really want to see this market either get here to that dotted line, and if it doesn't stop there, more of a major level 17.2 as the bounce and continuation. So that's what I'm going to be looking for right now. If I'm really going to be looking for the short, I'm probably going to be looking for the market to come underneath this area of 17.2, reject that, and then fall deeper down below into our support of 18.4. So that's where I really want to see the short. Other than that, I'm really not going to be shorting up until we get back to 1832.2 as the area of resistance. If we get back up there and we can't get through that level, that is going to be my next short idea. Above 1842.7, my next level of resistance, and then 1849.0 as my third level of resistance on the way back up. So we'll see what we get on gold during the London session and potentially into the US session. Let's move over into oil for you guys. Now, oil, pretty simple. We did stay below a key level, which kind of pulled us down a little bit, 72.49. Then we popped above it a little bit. We got a nice little bit of a double top here that took place. Couldn't get through that level. That's our 72.84. That was the top peak that we actually had. And then we fell below. Now I had this level of 72.49 because that was more of a very minor level during the London session yesterday that I wanted to see if we held support. And if we didn't, that was my idea for a continued short. I would top that out here with the double top here at 72.84, and then we started to see oil start to move down a little bit more. Now, I want to see if this market actually curls underneath this level of 71.63. If we do and it fails to get through that, 70.75 is my next level of support that I'm looking for the market to try to come to. maybe get a nice support happening there to bounce back up. If not, look for these 71.63s for a hold of support for a continuational move into 72.84 as our next target on the upside. Underneath 70.75 is 69.99 and then 68.98 as my next support. Underneath 68.98, 68.28 as the support underneath that. So a couple areas that I'm looking for, either we're going long 71.63 or we're going short that area, trying to come down into 70.75. If you don't understand that trade, don't put yourself into it. Kind of a tighter area to be trying to trade from. You can wait out till you actually see some clear confirmation of bullish structure or bearish structure. Let's take a look at a smaller chart here. Move this over for you guys on oil so that way you can see where we're currently at on this smaller move. So we are pushing back above 71.63, but it's got to be a convincing push. Get through, come back here, find that support there, and then push back to the upside from there. If we can't do that, let's get below this level. Let's get this resistance happening here and then try our best to short that back down. Now again, you want to keep in mind, market is still strongly bullish, right? So we can't neglect that, but we are underneath prior levels of resistance that's supposed to act as support, has not. So we'll see if we act as resistance for an opportunity to short there for a continuation of move down. But with that said, that is it for S&P 500, gold, and also oil. If you guys do like these videos, please again go ahead and smash that like button. For those who are not subscribed to the channel, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel. We would love that from you guys. Any questions you guys have, feel free to pop them in here on YouTube. We would love to get back to you guys. Now again, if you guys are struggling with trading, struggling to find consistency, been doing this for years and years, and you can't figure it out, feel free to pop in, become a member of Pure Structure Trading, join some of our power sessions, join a coaching program with us. Let us help you find the consistency in trading that you're looking for, find that success. And again, if you guys have any questions, we are open to questions here on YouTube, open to questions also on the website. You can go ahead and visit us there. We do have some social media leaks that are linked up here on YouTube that you guys can check out as well. But again, if you guys are struggling, make sure that you become either a member or take some coaching with us. Work at trying to get towards that goal of finding consistency in trading. But with that said, guys, if you guys continue to trade, make sure you guys trade well. We will be in the London session tonight. If you're part of Pure Structure Trading, I will see you guys in there. With that, you guys take care. Have a great night. Bye.